This video will talk about businesses. Recently, everyone wants to do business. All of a sudden, the trend is changing. Maybe it's because of social media. People are running away from 9 to 5 hustle. People want financial freedom, financial literacy. We'll share you the success story, failure story, and what are the latest trends. So I'll just talk about Canada in specific. Also, I'll share the glimpse of our recent event that we did on business. So all this information you're going to see in this video is a brief about what we did in the event. Because if you're watching this video, you have some thought of running a business and small business grows into big one. Canada is all driven by small businesses. As of now, one doubt that we discussed in the event was whether it is better to start a new business from scratch or acquire an existing business. It might be a retail business like a convenience store, pizza store, restaurant, franchisee like a U-Haul franchisee. It might be a laundromat, it might be gas station, hotel, motel. But the general consensus which came from the audience also, it is better for a newbie to acquire an existing business rather than establishing a new one from scratch, just because of more costing involved, more hassle, and also because this is a new one for you. It's better to acquire an existing one, follow their process and system, follow their profitability model, follow their trained staff, and so your chances of failures are less. Right now, there are 97.9% of Canadian businesses which are small business. As of now, there are around 1.2 million businesses successfully running in Canada. So this means there's a lot of opportunity available. But there's one thing we are always missing. 35% of those businesses will fail in next 5 years. Every year, 130 businesses start. But if you go by the latest trend, particularly about US, any business which was open in 2018, after first year, 20% of them are gone. But after 5 years, 50% of them are gone. So nothing to fear about. But the only thing is, this means if you're planning to start a business, you need to prep more, learn from someone else's mistake, so you can have a more successful path for you. Now, let's learn from a true story. This is a failure story. We had a IT client. They are very good in technology, but they always wanted to run a business. Fortunately or unfortunately, they landed into a pizza store business. You need to tell me what is the lesson you're learning from here. I'll go step by step into the numbers a bit deeper for you. So this is a franchisee business. As of now, the business is making average revenue. That's a monthly sale is around 20,000. Now that was a revenue. Now we have to subtract all the expenses. The major expenses for food, there is advertising and royalty fees. It's almost around 40%. So this means 20,000 minus 8,000. We are left with 12,000. Then you have your TMI, basically the utility cost, your lease expenses. If you subtract your lease, your water, gas, electricity, and your employee salary, 4,000, this business was coming negative. What I told you before, there are two parameters, cash flow and profitability. So this is a story of a failure. Plus they have now business loan. They have to pay that EMI. They have been trying to make this business successful from last 3 years. True story of a professional who's focused in a job where they're working right now. Everyone wants to do a business, but they're not able to choose that path. Reason being, they have a lucrative job running on the side. They don't have the guts, they don't have the capacity to quit that job full time and move into business. That makes the transition very difficult. So that's a learning lesson for you. So that was a negative side of it. I know I'm not saying business is not for you, but I'm saying business is for everyone who are ready to learn. So any business you are applying to, there are two things, which is cash flow and profitability. So this means if the cash is there and your money is flowing in, business will scale. End of the day, if you open a business, no one is coming in, that's a problem. Another thing is profitability. Obviously, why you want to open a business? Because you want to have a time freedom, financial freedom. But if the money is not there, profit is not on the table, then it's not going to scale. So I have a true success story actually. Someone who purchased a business for 235,000, purchased in 2023 in GTA. They sold with us for 310. We were involved in both the transaction in buying and selling of him. But how come this guy was able to scale his business? He did two things. He introduced some of the missing components, which was the previous person not doing it. Even we did a step-by-step analysis of where the more profit is coming. I know this slide will be big for you to consume, but the two things I'll highlight in this video is, first was major expense you need to focus on. Major expense is always a rent. For this, rent was at 6,700, which includes your TMI, tax, maintenance, and insurance. And the second biggest expense is your wage. That's the salary of the people working there. On the other side, the biggest margin was on the wave, which was 60%. So, and then obviously this was a convenience store actually. So sale of convenience food, which was around 50% margin. And then there was smaller components of other things. So whenever you are acquiring a business, you need to focus on these prime factors. What is more profitable part and which is more expensive part, and do the subtract. Is it making sense for you also? For next time, if you're planning to open a business or you're thinking you have some thought whether it's right for you or you're right fit for not, I would love you to attend our mastermind, which we do on regular basis, or do a one-on-one consultation.
It was a lovely session. It was quite an interactive one. Learned a lot of business opportunities and had a great networking.
I'm not trying to market our services, but I'm just showing you a mirror. So that's a learning lesson for you, that it's very important that you have an expert on your side. Obviously, we talked about the due diligence, things that you need to do when you're ready to buy a business. I'll just talk about brief about that. First is your location, foot traffic, right? Your competition analysis, that's very important. Whatever competitor you are, your local competition, and you can see what is the new competition coming there. Your staff and expertise, and your operational processes, because what are the systems and processes you have, opening, closing procedure, quality control, and most important, inventory and supplies. And I'm just skipping this part because it will be too much for you for this video, but I'll give you another success story for you just to motivate you. This is a business that we recently sold for, it was listed on 200,000, but the best part was it is a green, it is a profitable business with a 40,000 revenue, with food cost of 30%, franchisee cost, utilities, expenses, gross rent, and if you add your wage of labor, this is still profitable, making around $8,000 to $10,000 per month. And considering Canadian economy, that's a very decent income that you're making from a business. We always have failure stories, we always have success story. Your story might be different. Only thing is how much prepared you are. You'll fall 7 times, but you need to get up and get ready to take the action for the 8th time to be successful. I'll share some of the glimpses, the live examples that we did.
Just plus the 6% 10, right? 40% could have done that. 40% is 8,000 give and take. Someone who's making more than 100,000, it's very hard to quit.
The information that we got here, I think it's needed by each and every business. I learned about the demographics, how to calculate and how to make our business profitable.
It was very informative and I must recommend it to everybody. And if you really want to add some value to your life, investment or in terms of real estate, you should definitely attend this great opportunity.
ਹਵਾ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, real numbers ਤੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ.
I have learned a lot.
He is very knowledgeable.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਭਾਈ ਨਾਲ.
Share your feedback, share your thoughts, whatever business you want to do, what is stopping you to do that business. We'll love to cover that aspect of it, and we'll love to see you in our next mastermind event where we can have a one-to-one personal discussion. Links been in the bio. See you soon. Thank you.